Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you guys are good. So today we are going to discuss some NUST entry test past paper sample questions which are related to the topic quadratic equations. So first part of this video has already been uploaded on our channel. In that part, I have discussed some contents of quadratic equations as well and some past paper questions too. So in this video, we will discuss more past paper questions. So let's get started. So the very first question says, the determinant of this quadratic equation is not a perfect square, then its roots are. Okay, let's break down this question into parts. The first thing is they're talking about the discriminant of this quadratic equation. So let's just talk about what the discriminant of any quadratic equation is. Okay, so the discriminant is b square minus 4ac. And what is its significance when we talk about roots? So whenever we have a quadratic equation like this and we are interested in finding the roots, we find roots this way. Let's say x1 is the first root and x2 is the second root. That is equal to, and this is the quadratic formula which we use, minus p plus minus under root. Then here comes the discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now, since they are saying that this is not a perfect square, okay, this number, whatever it becomes, let's say it is 2, it's 3, it's 6, it could be 7, it could be 42, whatever it is, they have told that it is not a perfect square. So this implies that this right here would be a third, right? This would be a third. Okay, all right. So this much information is clear. Let's read the question again and then talk about the answer, okay? Right. So if the discriminant of this quadratic equation is not a perfect square, then its roots are, okay. So I've told you guys that if this is the case, that this discriminant is not a perfect square, then this x1, x2 would be this, and this thing right here, which I'm rewriting with red pen, is a third, okay. Let's talk about the definition of irrational numbers now. Okay, here we are. Now, if you read irrational numbers definition, an irrational number is a real number that cannot be expressed as a ratio of integers. For example, under root 2 is an irrational number, right? So here they are saying that under root 2 is an irrational number. So this means that surds are irrational, right? Surds are irrational. Okay. So this is going to imply that our answer would be B, because we have surd in it. Since we have surd, and by the definition of irrational numbers, it's very obvious that irrational numbers include all these surds as well. So certainly B is going to be the answer. Okay. Now let's talk about the second question. Okay. The product of the roots of the equation, this is, okay. So now we have this question, and guys, you have to be very careful about the fact that you are doing all these questions not in your A levels exam or FSC exam. In fact, you are preparing for entrance test, right? When we talk about entry test, in that case, calculators are not allowed. In NET, you would not be allowed to use calculator. So every calculation which I'll be doing in this video would be based on that. Okay, I know that you guys would not be allowed to use calculator, so I will be doing things that way. Okay, now we have to find the product of the roots of this equation. So without wasting time, let's talk about the roots, okay, directly. So again, x1 would be, okay, now in this case, a is 9. The coefficient of x square is a, that is 9. B, the coefficient of x is minus 5 and the constant term is minus 27, okay. Now, if I write down the formula is minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac whole divided by 2a. Okay, now this is the formula. If I quickly plug in the values for x1, I'm going to get 5 plus minus under root 5 square would be 25 minus 4 into 9 into 27. Since it's minus 27, so I have to write down this minus sign, divided by 2 into 9. Okay, now here I have not multiplied anything because these multiplications, I mean, this is easy, but the ones in numerator like 9 into minus 27 into 4, that is complicated. Okay, and in NET we do not have that much time, so let's do it from that point of view. Okay, now I have that x1 is with plus sign, x2 would be with minus sign. I'm multiplying, so let's just multiply the two roots directly over here. Okay, so the two roots are, I have to multiply x1 into x2, and if I do so, I will have 5 plus under root 25 plus 36 into 27 divided by 18. Okay, multiplied by 5 minus under root 25 plus 36 into 27. Okay, so I got this 36 by multiplying 9 and 4. That multiplication was easy, and in denominator I got 18 by multiplying 2 and 9. Okay, I'll give you a quick recap. Okay, so we had this one root was with plus sign, right? So one root was with plus sign, so this root is with plus sign, x1 is with plus, x2 is with minus sign, this one right here. And here I multiplied 4 and 9, so I got 36, and minus into minus, change this sign from minus to plus. And in the denominator I had 2 into 9, so I multiplied that and I got 18. Okay, so now I have multiplied the two roots. This was the question. Now clearly in the denominator I am going to get 18 into 18, and if I look at these two functions, isn't it this form, a plus b? A is 5 and b is the third under root 25 plus 36 into 27 into a minus b, and I know that a plus b into a minus b gives me a square minus b square, right? So this means that in numerator I can write down a square, since my a is 5 square, then minus sign, and then b is this right here, so that would be under root 25 plus 36 into 27. Okay, now you guys have to be very careful. Never ever waste your time in finding out the product of 26 and 36 and 27, because NET is designed in such a way that you guys can do it without calculator. Okay, now you'll see how am I able to do it without calculator. I can cross out this under root, so I will have 5 square 25 minus 25. Okay, then the side minus sign is common, plus 36 into 27 divided by 18 cross 18. Now this basically is 25 minus 25 minus 36 into 27 divided by 18 into 18. So this 25 and 25 can be cancelled. Here I have minus sign. 18 1 times is 18, and 18 2 times is 36. Then I can cancel out this. 9 into 2 is 18, and 9 into 3 is 27, right? So this 2 and this 2 can be cancelled, and I'm left with minus 3. Okay, so this question was very, very easy. The question was to find the product of the roots of this equation. I first calculated the roots, this and this. I just multiplied them. I used this, and I got minus 3 as my answer. So let's see if we have minus 3 in options or not. Yes, we do. It is the D option. Okay, so this is the answer. Right, now let's talk about the third question. Okay, in this question, we have to find the sum of the roots of this equation. Again, this question is very easy. We first have to find out the roots and then we have to find the sum. Okay, so let's do it quickly. Again, A is 12, B is -7 and C is 4. Okay, so I will use the formula directly this time. X1 would be minus B, so it would become 7 plus under root B square 49 minus 4 into A into C. Okay, now don't care about the fact that the thing coming inside this under root is negative and we will end up getting complex numbers. No, okay, wait, and you will see that again this part would also be cancelled. Divided by 2A, so it is 2 into A is 12, and so the question is to find the sum. Okay, and then the second root would be same to same with a minus sign here. 49 minus 4 into 12 into 4. Now obviously since I am teaching here, so I will do each and every step, but obviously in any T exam you guys have to be very careful and you have to manage the number of steps. I mean, there should not be that less that you end up making silly mistakes, but you should not, do every step in anything. Okay, now we need to find the sum of roots. This is the first root, this is the second root. Let's just add up both of these roots and we are going to get 7 plus under root 49 minus 4 into 12 into 4. I'm not wasting my time in finding out this part, but 2 into 12 is easy, so I can always write down 24. Then plus, since I have to find the sum is the question, so I have to plus and then write down the second root, that is minus. I'm doing x1 plus x2 because I have to sum up both the roots. Okay, minus under root 49 minus 4 into 12 into 4 divided by 24. Okay, now I have two fractions whose denominator is same, so I can add these up directly. By simply doing this, I have 24 in the denominator and 7 plus 7, this 7 and this 7, and then this term and this term, these would be cancelled because I have minus sign, I have plus sign, I can directly cancel these out. So now I have 14 by 24. I can easily cancel this out, so this would be 7 because 2 into 7 is 14 and this would be 12. So I have 7 by 12 as the answer. So this is the C option, right? So this was the answer. Now, obviously, questions are easy. They are a little time taking, but you need to save time. Okay, you guys have seen that without doing such multiplications, I'm able to solve questions because I'm telling you. If you start wasting your time with these multiplications, just know that you're going in the wrong direction. NET is designed in such a way that students are able to do it without calculators. Okay, right. Now we have this fourth question. So the question is, if the sum S, if S is the sum of the roots of the equation and P is the product of the roots of equation, then their equation can be written as, okay, fine. So S is the sum of roots and P is the product of roots. Okay, so this means that S is x1 plus x2. We have two roots. We're talking about quadratic equations, so we will have two roots, x1 and x2. So sum is x1 plus x2 and product is x1 into x2. Okay, and obviously I'm considering that my roots are x1 and x2. Now let's just solve this question. If my roots are x1 and x2, so obviously I am going to get x minus x1 and x minus x2 equals 0, right? Now obviously if this is equal to 0, only then I'm going to get x equals x1 and x equals x2. Okay, but obviously here I'm not going to find that. I have to multiply it. I'll multiply x with x. I would get x squared minus x x2 minus x x1 plus x1 x2 equals 0. X square, I can take minus and x common, and I will have x2 plus x1 plus x1 x2 equals 0. Now s is x1 plus x2, x square minus x, I can write down s here, plus x1 into x2 is p, this is p, this equals 0. Now certainly if I rearrange this, I will get, okay, so clearly C is the answer. Now here again, this question was easy. All you have to do is just convert these English statements into mathematical equations, okay, like these. Once you have everything written in front of you in form of equations, things become very, very easy, okay? Right, now we have this fifth question. So if the discriminant of the quadratic equation is positive, discriminant is b square minus 4ac, and we know that, okay, if the discriminant of the quadratic equation is positive, then the roots are, they're talking about the roots. Let's write down the formula quickly. This is the formula which we use for roots. Now certainly if this is positive, our answer is going to be real. Our answer cannot be complex, okay? So like clearly this cannot be the choice, because if this part is positive, we have positive number in under root, answer cannot be complex, so A cannot be the choice, okay? And then obviously if this is positive, if this is not 0, we are going to have two answers, one with plus sign and one with minus sign. So answers would not be equal, okay? In one of the roots we will be adding this third, and in the other root we will be subtracting it, okay? So clearly it would not be equal. So roots are not complex, roots are real, and they are unequal, so D is the choice. Okay, now we have sixth question. The sum of the roots of equation this is, okay, again we have to sum up the roots. Let's just quickly find out the roots. So we know that x1 is going to be minus b plus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, and x2 is going to be minus b minus under root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so since we will be doing this question in NET, we don't have that much time, so let's just rub it there and then, and this as well, and we have to add these two roots. Okay, so if I add these two roots, my denominators are same, 2a and 2a. I can simply add these up directly. I will have 2a minus b, and this would be cancelled. So I will have minus 2b by 2a, 2 and 2 would be cancelled. So the answer is minus b by a. So C is the choice, okay? Right, let's talk about the seventh question. Okay, now, if the roots of the equation are this and this, then the equation will be, now clearly if, let's say, roots are minus 7 by 4 and 4 by 7, this means that I will have x minus 7 by 4 into x minus 4 by 7 equals 0, because only then I will have x equals minus 7 by 4 and x equals 4 by 7, okay? Since we have to find the equations, I will expand it. X into x is going to give me x square, then minus 4 by 7x, then I am going to have, let's just write it down this way, 7 by 4, x minus 4 by 7 equals 0. Okay, x into x is x squared, x into minus 4 by 7 is minus 4 by 7x, then we will have 7 by 4x and then minus 7 by 4 into 4 by 7. Clearly 4 and 4, 7 and 7 would be cancelled. So I will get 1 and all this is equal to 0. Okay. Now if I look at my choices, I am far away. One thing is very obvious that I have 28 here in every option. So it looks like I will be multiplying my equation with 28. Okay. So let's just multiply this equation 1 with 28 and we can do any multiplication, division, addition, subtraction with any equation if you're doing it for both sides. So if I multiply 28 on both sides, I will get x square minus. Okay, now for this, I can quickly take LCM. 7 into 4 is 28. I will have 16x because 7 into 4 is 28. So 4 into 4 is 16 minus 4 into 7 and 7 into 7. That is 49x minus 1 equals 0 into 28. That certainly would be 28. Now this is going to give us 28x square minus 33x. 28 and 28 would be cancelled. Minus 28 equals 0. So this is 28x square plus 33x minus 28. So this is the equation which I am getting. So let's see which is the answer. So clearly A is the answer, right? Because we have plus 33 and minus 28. Now, this decision that I'll be multiplying 28, I got this by looking at the options. When I was on this step, I could clearly see that I am far away from my answer. And in order to, make things look like the given options, I multiplied 28, okay? So I'm finally done with the 7th question as well. Let's talk about the 8th question. So the value of omega cube root of unity is, before looking at this question, let me just define the 3 cube roots of unity. Okay, so we have 3 cube roots of unity. So we have 1, omega and omega square. Okay, these are the 3 cube roots of unity. So 1 is 1, omega is minus 1 plus under root 3 iota. This is something which is given, it's a definition. Okay, so this question is basically based on knowledge, like it's a knowledge based question. Minus under root 3 iota by 2. Okay, so I have told you it's a definition that 3 cube roots of unity that are 1 omega omega square. 1 is 1, omega is this, and omega square is this. Okay, so the question is that the value of omega is, so the value of omega is minus 1 plus under root 3 iota by 2. So D is the answer, right? Okay, now let's talk about the 9th question. We need to find down 1 plus omega square. So basically we are finding the sum of 3 cube roots of unity. So let's just write down 1 is 1, then omega is minus 1 plus under root 3 iota by 2. We can write it in brackets, and then we have omega square. And guys, be very careful. Okay, at times students, they just square up this term. You don't have to square up this term. This already has square. Okay, so this is minus 1 minus under root 3 iota by 2. Okay, now we have to add these three. Now 1 would be 1 plus, I can take the LCM. 2 is same, and minus 1 and minus 1 are coming here, and these two would be cancelled. So I will get 1 minus 2 by 2. So these two would be cancelled. I will have 1. So this is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So this question was very easy. I just had to add the 3 cube roots of unity, right? Okay. Now we have the 10th question. In this question, I have to multiply the 3 cube roots of unity. So 1 into -1 plus under root 3 iota by 2 and -1 minus under root 3 iota by 2. Okay, now I have two fractions which are being multiplied. If I multiply the denominators, I will get 1 by 4. Okay, and now if I talk about numerators particularly, isn't this a plus b and a minus b form? Yes, it certainly is. Okay, and we know this, that a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. So a is -1, we have -1 square minus b square, b is under root 3 iota square, right? So I am going to get 1 by 4, 1 minus 3 iota square. This is going to give me 1 minus 3 iota square is -1 by 4, and finally I will have 4 by 4, that is 1. So A is the choice. Now in these questions, all of these questions were related to the topic quadratic equations, and you guys have seen that things are more or less the same. The questions are of the same type. Okay, we have been using a plus b into a minus b. We have been using this. We talked about rational, irrational numbers. We discussed about discriminant. Then, every question was related to summing of the roots or finding the product. We talked about the cube roots of unity and all these questions. Okay, so we have discussed these questions which are related to NUST entry test preparation from the topic quadratic equation.